Welcome! Today we're going to dive into some seriously groundbreaking science from Lisa Feldman Barrett's book, How Emotions Are Made. We're going to explore this wild idea that your brain doesn't just feel emotions, it actually builds them from scratch.
So let's just jump right in with a question that might shake things up a little. What if your feelings, your anger, your joy, your fear, aren't just automatic reflexes? What if they're actually constructions and you're the one holding the blueprints? To really wrap our heads around this new idea, we've got to start with the old one. For, well, basically all of human history, we've told ourselves a pretty simple and, intuitive story about where our emotions come from. And it goes something like this, right? You see something scary and bam, a fear circuit just switches on. Someone cuts you off in traffic and an anger program starts running. We feel our emotions like they're these basic reflexes that just happen to us. And I mean, this idea is deeply rooted. We're talking everyone from ancient philosophers like Plato all the way to Darwin. This whole concept of a battle between our rational mind and this emotional kind of beast brain. It has shaped our laws, our culture, pretty much our whole idea of what it means to be human. Okay, but here's the thing. For a scientific idea to hold up, it has to be testable. It has to make predictions that we can go out and check. And that classical view, it makes one heck of a clear prediction. So, if an emotion, like, say, anger, is this universal, hardwired program that we all inherited from our ancient ancestors, then it stands to reason that every single time anyone feels anger, it should look exactly the same on the inside, right? It should have a unique biological signature, a fingerprint, a specific heart rate, a specific set of neurons firing in the brain, even the same facial expression every single time. You should be able to measure it. So that's what scientists did. They went looking for these fingerprints. And I mean, they looked hard. For over a century, they ran literally thousands of studies, measuring every pulse, every brainwave, every tiny muscle twitch they could find. And after all that searching, what did they find? Absolutely nothing. Zilch. A scowl doesn't always mean you're angry. A pounding heart doesn't always mean you're scared. What they found was endless variety, not consistency. Those neat, tidy emotion fingerprints, they just weren't there. Now, this wasn't just some small crack in the old theory. This was a crisis. It basically sank the entire ship. And out of that scientific wreckage, a completely new and frankly, much more interesting story started to take shape. And that brings us to the new picture, the theory of constructed emotion. And it says this: emotions don't just happen to you. They're made, in the moment, by you. Or, to be more specific, by your brain. So this is the fundamental shift in thinking. The old view saw the brain as a passive detector, just sitting there waiting for a trigger from the outside world. But the new view sees the brain as a proactive storyteller. It's not waiting around, it's constantly predicting what's going to happen next, and it just uses information from the world to tweak those predictions. And this is a great way to visualize it. Emotions aren't hiding out in some ancient lizard part of your brain. Nope, they are whole brain events. They're constructed right on the fly by huge networks of different brain systems all working together. Okay, so if your brain isn't just reacting, what exactly is it doing? I mean, how does it build an entire experience like joy or sadness pretty much out of thin air? Well, it all comes down to prediction. Just think about it for a second. Your brain is trapped in a dark, silent box, your skull. All it gets are these fuzzy, ambiguous signals from your senses. So to keep you alive, it has to make guesses. It's constantly running a simulation of the world, predicting what's out there and what's about to happen. This isn't something it does on the side. This is its main job. And it all happens in this incredibly fast cycle called the prediction loop. First, your brain uses your past experiences to guess what you're about to sense. Then it compares that guess to what's actually coming in. If there's a big mismatch, a prediction error, it fixes the guess. But if the guess is close enough, that prediction just becomes your reality. And this right here is the absolute key. This is why the exact same physical feeling, like a pounding heart, can become totally different emotions. A pounding heart is just noise. It's raw data from your body. Your brain takes that data, looks at the context, the situation you're in, and then uses a concept it's learned, like joy or anger, to give that noise meaning. So this is all fascinating brain science, for sure. But what does it actually mean for you? Well, the implications are honestly huge. It means we aren't just passengers along for the ride. We are the architects of our own emotional lives. And it starts with this concept called emotional granularity. Basically, this is your brain's ability to build really specific, precise emotions.
You can think of it like a painter's palette. The more colors or emotion concepts you have, the more nuanced and accurate a picture your brain can create for any given situation.
And this isn't just some nice idea. The research is crystal clear. People with high emotional granularity, people who can tell the difference between feeling, say, disappointed versus despairing, instead of just feeling bad, are way better at managing their lives, they have better relationships, they're healthier. Your emotional vocabulary is literally a toolkit for a better life.
This quote from Lisa Feldman Barrett just nails it, doesn't it? It perfectly captures this massive shift in thinking. Your emotions aren't things you find out in the world. They are how your brain makes sense of the world.
And that means you are an active, moment-to-moment participant in creating your own experience. Your brain is constantly drawing on everything you've ever learned, from your culture, your family, your own life, to build your reality.
Which leaves us with a final, really powerful question. This new science doesn't just explain emotions. It kind of hands us the keys. It gives us a new level of freedom, but also a new level of responsibility. So, if your brain builds your emotional world using the concepts you give it, what are you going to choose to build?